Part 2 of Full Court Press Basketball Debate, January 19th. Chris Guyette here with Yvonne Juneau. Finally, Kawhi Leonard is back. Kawhi Leonard is back for San Antonio. He came back against Portland on the 16th, and San Antonio defeated Portland. Yvonne Juneau, let's take question A. If anything, what did this game show you?
It showed me that Kawhi Leonard is back. I mean, his first game back and he made 20 points. He's ready to rock and roll. Now, did he push himself a little too much? Maybe.
He is 22. Let's remember that.
Well,
He's a finals MVP at 22.
okay, and that's all well and good, but you can re-hurt yourself just as easily at 22 as you can at 82.
It's true.
Okay?
92, Tim Duncan.
But it showed me that he was itching to play. It has been torture for him to sit on the sidelines. So, I think it's awesome. I think they need him. I think it's a good thing he's back. And as far as I'm concerned, in your mind, does that complete the team? Chris, was that a big factor in your mind that was missing from the team?
The biggest.
Okay, why?
Because Kawhi Leonard is a rare breed. Let me explain what I'm saying.
All right.
Okay? Because I, for one, I don't know about you, I love Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I love the way he plays basketball.
That's the thing I like about him the most. You know what that is? He's all basketball.
The thing about it is,
He's all basketball.
San Antonio, we know, is a fundamentally sound team. The most fundamentally sound team probably in the history of basketball. The San Antonio Spurs.
All around.
They are all fundamentals. They are all about the basics, and that's what wins them championships. Where I'm going with this, you see youngsters, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving,
Newbies. Yeah.
doing flashiness,
Yeah.
and which is all well and good if you're good at it.
If it works.
Kawhi Leonard,
Fundamental.
at 22 years old, is an NBA Finals MVP. I want to stress how amazing that is. Jordan didn't do that. Shaq didn't do that. Bird didn't do that. Magic didn't. Kawhi Leonard is the youngest Finals MVP in NBA history, playing with 30-year-olds and 35-year-olds, and is fitting right in. It's amazing. He's a rare breed. What did this show me? It shows me that not only is San Antonio probably the elite team in the West when Kawhi Leonard is healthy, that this showed me in a few years, this is Kawhi Leonard's team.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, this is Tim Duncan's last year.
Yep.
God, it pains me to say that.
Oh, me too.
Because I have the most respect for Tim Duncan
Yeah.
more than anybody in the league.
Yeah.
Okay? Tony Parker is 33. I love Tony Parker.
That's young in most careers.
It is.
In most occupations.
But Tony's got another 4 years, safe to say.
Maybe.
Okay? Manu, another 3-4 years. But they're on the downhill slope. Kawhi
Now,
Leonard.
let's not forget that Tony had to sit out for a while.
Kawhi Leonard, ladies
Just
and
getting
gentlemen,
started.
has not even peaked. And he's got a finals MVP.
Hmm?
Last night, not last night, this last game, right here. And this is against Portland. Let's not
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. We're not scraping the bottom of
Kawhi
the barrel
Leonard.
here.
Kawhi Leonard is San Antonio's motor. I don't know about you, but I thought Kawhi Leonard was known for his defense. In this game,
20 points.
all these flashy layups.
Yeah.
Getting to the free throw line, being ultra aggressive. This is a new Kawhi Leonard. Are you kidding me? I love it. I absolutely love it.
He may make an absolute liar out of me. I hope not. But I attribute this to 3 basic things.
Okay.
Okay? Number one, you just touched on the fact of how young he is. He's a newbie.
He's incredible.
Right. Okay? He is all basketball.
All business.
Okay? That's number one. Number two, his name is not in the headlines for assault, drug use, failing drug tests, getting
None of
in
them
fights
are.
at bars.
None of them are.
I know
Ever.
Yeah, but he's 22.
Done. Okay.
Okay, but most of the ones,
That are that age, yes.
either that or they're so full of themselves they think they're above the law.
Which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Right. Okay. And number three, there's no females pressing charges against him for nothing and all that. He is the fundamental all basketball. This is my business. This is my job. I am talented, but I'm not full of myself, and I'm out here to do what I need to do.
You know how you ask me questions? Sub question? I'm going to ask you a sub question.
Okay?
How much of that attitude comes from being on the same team as Duncan Parker and Ginobili?
Absolutely.
And Greg Popovich.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
Always has been. Give him his credit.
Okay, may I ask you another sub
But the
question?
players he's playing with have such an effect on him, you can see it on the court.
Yeah, they're like mentors.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question to go along with that question. Do you think that somebody like Pop would put up with a newbie that would have headlines in the
The
papers?
one person I could think of that wouldn't put up with it less than Greg Popovich is Mike Krzyzewski.
Absolutely.
So, in other words,
Pop would
yes.
bench his ass
Or Doc
in a
Rivers.
New York
Or Doc
minute.
Rivers.
Pop would not let him on the court. Would not let him play.
Coach K wouldn't let him on the team.
No. 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 Do I think that all of that leadership, all of that mentoring, and all of that experience that he's playing with is rubbing off on him? Absolutely. But let's not forget, he's always been a good kid. He's never been in trouble with the law. He's never had...
By the way, he went
I hope he doesn't make a liar out of me.
He went to 4 years of college at San Diego State University.
He's a college graduate.
Good kid.
He's a college graduate. I hope
I mean-
he doesn't make a liar out of me, because that has come back. If he ends up getting MVP or 2 or 3 years down the road when Tim Duncan's not there anymore and all that kind of stuff, let's hope he stays. Okay?
He said he
With
wanted
San
to
Antonio.
retire as a Spur.
Yeah.
At 22, he's
he
saying that.
said that. Okay? But Paul Pierce said that he was going to finish his career with Boston.
I still think that's going to happen. I still think he's going to sign a 1-year deal with Boston. before it's
Well,
all
we'll
over.
see. We'll see.
I hope he does.
I don't see Tony Parker ever being anywhere except San Antonio.
Ginobili
There's just
either.
certain players that you just
Kobe.
can't imagine
Kobe.
them being anywhere except where they are. Do you ever imagine Dirk leaving Atlanta?
Dallas.
I mean Dallas. Come on.
Kobe.
Kobe is going to die.
Kobe is the Lakers.
Laker.
I'm sorry. He is the epitome of a Laker.
Exactly. So, I mean, I hope I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me.
I can sum it up.
He is the epitome in my mind of what a young basketball player should be, that is a good person, a smart person, a dedicated player, and is part of a team.
I'm going to end this conversation by giving you a quote that I read about Kawhi Leonard the other day. It said, quote, I am 30 years old. And when I look at this kid in the face, I see the future of this league. You know who said that?
No.
LeBron. Let that sink in, people. LeBron on Kawhi Leonard. I am 30 years old, meaning he's got 10 years left.
Yeah.
Okay? Because LeBron's a horse. LeBron, excuse my French, is a brick shithouse.
Right.
Okay? I look at this kid and I see the future of this league. Are you kidding me?
Do you think, just based on the little bit that we know about Kawhi, do you think that the almighty dollar could sway him after somebody like LeBron making that kind of statement to move on to another team?
No, because I think San Antonio's going to pay him.
Okay.
Because they know he's worth it.
Okay. Well, once Tim leaves, they'll definitely have the money.
I don't want to talk about Tim Duncan leaving.
I know.
Next.
And why would you not want to play for the team
Well, right. I mean,
that is probably going to be a repeat again this year?
I hope they do, man. I hope Tim Duncan gets his
I
sixth
told you
ring.
that before the season even
I
started.
agreed with you. I agreed with you.
They may not be ranked number one now.
I said San Antonio versus Chicago from day one.
San Antonio's going to take it all the way again
I
this
think
year.
they are as well.
I think so too.
Milwaukee point guard Kendall Marshall out for the season with a torn ACL. Yvonne, your thoughts?
What do you want me to say? I'm so sorry. Okay? I'm so sorry. I know what that feels like. Well, in conjunction with my torn meniscus, it's got to be painful. And I'm sure he is suffering.
Stinks, man.
I'm sure he's not only suffering physically, but I'm sure this is killing him not
Well,
to be able to play.
he's their seventh guy in the rotation. He's got a big role.
Okay. And honestly, this doesn't help Milwaukee at all.
How impressed have you been with Milwaukee this season?
Oh, absolutely. This is not last year's Milwaukee team. They still have a ways to go.
Check this out, though.
But losing somebody like this for the season,
Yeah.
that's got to hurt.
Well, it's a bad time.
Oh,
It's right in the middle of the season.
Well,
You're right. You're
not
starting to
only
get your
that,
groove.
Not only that, you got money that's being used out there without any productivity.
Look, Milwaukee. Let's not forget they lost Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
Okay, who in my mind was playing great.
Mm-hmm.
It's his rookie season. Okay. There's a lot that can be attributed to Milwaukee's success this season. It's Jason Kidd. Let's not forget he's the coach.
I know that.
Okay. He has done
That's one.
a fantastic job.
I'm gonna say this out loud. That's one ex-player that ended up putting himself in a coaching position and forgot that he's not out on that floor playing anymore and is not trying to do things that's impossible to do, unlike somebody else I could mention
Right.
who used to be a player
Right.
and is now trying to force something down his team's throat.
Right. Another injury. Dwayne Wade aggravates
I can't even talk about
his hamstring. How much does this hurt Miami?
Oh my God. Is there anything that could hurt them more? Be honest. Is there anything? Okay. Is there anything that could hurt them more? Honestly. You're going to bring up Bosch.
Only because it's realistic.
Yeah.
Because
And we saw what happened when Bosch was out at the same time as Dwayne.
Check this out. Let's not forget. Okay. Let me start by saying that Miami is not living up to my expectations this season. However, they do have a brand new team. We said that in the preseason debate. They signed 8 guys. Okay? I mean, come on. Okay? But that's a good thing because they're deep. Wade's not going to be out for the season with this, but they have a guy that they can put in his place, which is good for them. If Bosch would have been out, Josh McRoberts is already out. They wouldn't have another guy. Now, where it hurts them the most
Of
is
course.
experience.
Yeah.
Experience and mental strength Because I am sorry. There are two guys in the NBA, two, that I would say are mentally stronger than Dwayne Wade. And they are Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan. Okay?
Okay.
Mentally, clutch time, I need to step up right now.
You're forgetting Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is more of I need a big shot. Dwayne Wade, let's not forget what he did in 2009 in this living room. 5
Okay,
straight threes in Boston.
I understand that. They looked to Paul Pierce for experience.
There are
Leadership.
not many guys that could have done that. Okay?
I agree.
It hurts. It hurt. I mean, he's Dwayne Wade. Wait, what do you...
You opened your commentary by saying Miami is not living up to the expectations and not doing what I thought they were going to do by this stage of the game. That all has to do with Dwayne not being out there. You and I both know that. For leadership, for his playing ability on the floor, that's got to be messing with those guys' heads. When they were both out, Bosh and Wade, it was painful to watch. Okay? Thank God now that Bosh is back, they're doing better. They're still not doing what they could be doing because Wade's not out there.
Right.
May I ask you a question, Chris? Who serves a bigger purpose and is more beneficial and more, not influential, but more necessary to the team?
That depends.
Bosh or
What?
Wade to win games?
Okay, wait. That depends. What time of the season are we talking about?
Now.
Now?
Now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I would say Bosh. Because he's just playing better than Wade has been this year.
Okay.
Okay. Playoff time?
Playoff time.
That's easy. Next to Kobe Bryant,
Dwayne's
there is
got the
no
most
one bigger than
experience.
Dwayne
Right.
Wade.
Right.
I mean, that's easy.
How long do they say that he's going to be out? Have they given any
Another
kind of-
week. Is
Another
what they're saying,
week.
which is not bad. It could be worse.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you think that Dwayne will get out there and push himself
Of
to the
course he
point
will.
that he may re-injure himself?
He may, but that's with everybody. Look at Kobe. He ain't re-injured himself this year.
I know.
So, but look, that's Dwayne Wade. That's what Dwayne Wade does. He's going to go to the end. It don't matter. He played 3 years with a knee injury. 3 years! Come on. Mike Conley, with what they're saying, is ankle problems. They won't go further than that. Is out, and there is no timetable on his return. Yvonne.
All they're saying is ankle soreness?
That's what they're saying.
So wear some high-top tennis shoes or wear some ankle braces.
Yvonne.
There's more to it.
Oh, of course there is. How much does this hurt Memphis?
Well, that hurts Memphis. Of course it hurts Memphis. Not as much as like Zach Randolph being out.
I can argue that.
Okay? Go for it.
I can argue that.
Okay?
They were winning games without Randolph. They weren't.
They're winning games now without Conley.
They've only played 2 games without Conley.
Okay?
They played 2 months without Randolph. And they were winning games. Okay? That whole time Marc Gasol was going off and was in MVP talks, there was no Zach Randolph. None. The thing that makes Conley, to me, who's the better player? Zach Randolph. But who's more valuable to the team?
Okay. Who's the better player? Why? Let's be
Why?
honest.
Because he's
Turn
got a
around and look at Zach Randolph
Well,
in the middle of the
okay.
court.
But the guy is a good all-around player.
Yeah, but he's also like, oh my God, Zach Randolph is in the middle of the court.
Don't go near him.
The intimidation factor.
That's what they need.
It's
Good.
like when Shaq used to be in the middle of the
Good.
court.
Memphis needs that.
Yeah.
Okay? But Conley is a point guard.
Yeah.
And in the West, you need a point guard these days.
Who's
Okay?
taking his place right now? Why am I drawing a blank?
Nick Calathis.
That's why I'm drawing a blank, because
Right.
I don't know him.
Right. They need a point guard. Look at the elite teams.
Are we talking Nate Robinson here?
I don't think that's a fit. I don't think that's a fit. The point is, he's a point guard. And the elite teams in the West, Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Patrick Beverly, Tony Parker, they're all in the West. Russell Westbrook. You need a point guard. Rajon Rondo now. Drew Holiday. I mean, God. You need a point guard to win games.
Okay.
That's even more of the load that's going to get put on Randolph and Gasol.
Memphis won 4 games this week alone.
But 2 of them were without Conley.
Only 2?
Only 2 of them.
The last 2? Against Portland?
Okay.
And against Orlando.
Okay.
By 10 and 12 points.
Let's see how we can keep that up.
Well,
See how long they can keep that up. Not saying they can't do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to make it a lot more difficult on Zach Randolph and Marc
Absolutely.
Gasol.
now, God forbid anything happen to anybody else, or Memphis can forget the position they're in now.
Wow.
Because Marc Gasol has come out of nowhere. Now, he's not Powell. Don't get me wrong. He is, sorry.
Pau Gasol just doesn't age. We'll talk about
I mean, come on.
that. That's just ridiculous.
How much younger is Mark than Powell?
A few years.
5, 6 years?
No, not that much younger.
Oh, they're closer in
He's
age
3,
than
4
that?
years younger.
He sure looks a lot younger than that. The fact that he dropped about 50 pounds helped
Well, yeah.
tremendously. Okay. But he and Zach
They're great. I mean, they're great.
on the floor, that's
They're great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to make it more tough. I want to see how much they can step up.
okay. Chris, let me ask you one more question before we move on to the next question. How much is Mike Conley not being on the floor going to affect Memphis' standing, do you think? Aren't they ranked number 1? No, that was a couple of weeks ago they were ranked number 1.
Third or fourth,
They're
if I'm not
third
mistaken.
now. They held the number 1 spot for a while.
Right. Without Randolph.
Without Randolph, but
But
they did
with
have
Conley. Okay.
Now we've switched it.
Let's look. Tonight,
Okay.
they're at home against Dallas. Rondo. Okay? They could easily lose that game. Okay?
Yeah.
Dirk and Tyson Chandler, they're going to be tough to stop. Okay? You had Chandler Parsons and Monte Ellis.
Dirk is going to be guarding Chandler.
Randolph.
Dirk is going to be guarding Randolph. Who's
And-
going to be guarding Tyson?
Marc Gasol.
Okay. I can see that.
Going to be a great matchup. But without Conley guarding Rondo, yeah. I mean,
maybe Rondo will score more than 2 points.
it's not what he does. We've discussed this before. He doesn't need to score 15, 20 points a game on that team. In Boston, he did. In Dallas, you have more than 5 scoring options.
You know, when you say stuff like that, and then an hour ago you were saying Chris Paul needs to score.
How many actual scoring options do the Clippers have? Do the Clippers have that they can rely on? Griffin's okay. Jamal Crawford can score.
Yeah.
But he comes off the bench. Redick's a shooter. Barnes is not a scorer. Anybody else?
Redick made some points.
Yeah, he shoots threes. But he's not a guy that's going to give you 30 a night.
Rondo needs to do more assists because there's more people on the team who can score.
Right. Dirk is magnificent. And Monte Ellis, oh my God. Chandler Parsons can score the ball. I mean, they have more scoring options than the Clippers do.
Rondo should not have to work harder than Chris Paul.
It's not necessarily about working harder. It's working in a different way. They play completely
But
different.
Rondo likes to shoot.
Okay?
But if he needs to do more assists, but he decides to do more shooting, that could backfire.
Absolutely it could. Because he's not known as a shooter.
Right.
Right. Chris Paul can make shots. We know that. That's why he needs to do it.
Okay.
They got Dallas. They could easily lose that game. Okay, I'm sorry, they could. Then on Wednesday, they're at home against Toronto.
Oh.
Okay, Kyle Lowry. Does that ring a bell? DeMar DeRozan. Tough game, even though Toronto's been struggling lately. Okay?
No timetable on his return.
Then
We don't have a backup point guard?
on the 24th, Philadelphia
Who's
visits
our backup point guard?
Nick Calathis.
Oh.
Then on the 24th, Saturday, Philadelphia visits with Michael Carter Williams, another good point guard. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult.
Well, Memphis may drop big time by the time this
They
week's
could.
over.
They could. They could. Because one or
That
two
means
losses
everybody
affects
else
everything.
better step up. Okay.
You ready? The 16th, Oklahoma City cools down Golden State. 127-115 was the final of this game. Ivan Juno, who did this game show more about? OKC or Golden State? And why? Very tough question because it showed a lot about both teams. But who did it show more about?
That's not a tough question for me. It's not a tough question for me at all. Okay? OKC not only won, but, and I got that one wrong because I picked Golden
I did
State.
not. I picked Oklahoma
I
State.
know you did. Okay? I got it wrong. But to me, even though I got it wrong, it showed me a hell of a lot about OKC. Number one, Westbrook ended up with a triple-double.
We'll talk about that.
Okay? Kevin Durant ended up with 36 points. I mean, if there's any night, pardon me, but if there's any night that a team had their shit together, they had it together. They could not do wrong. Now, they allowed Golden State to get 115 points. But if they had been in this play mode against anybody except Golden State, the other team wouldn't have even made 100 points. They were, I hate to use the word epitome.
Okay, they played almost a perfect game, is what you're trying to
There
say.
you go. They were actually, I could use the word epitome. They were the epitome of what one of the best teams I've ever seen play basketball play in the NBA.
Okay.
They were flawless. They,
100%, and it's not often that I do this. You ready for this?
yeah, you're going to agree with me 100%.
100% agree with the
Yeah.
fact that it showed more about OKC.
Yeah.
But for a different reason. We know, okay, follow me on this. We know, and this goes right into question B, your thoughts on Russell Westbrook's triple-double. Let me say this, and I want you legitimately to think about this before you give me your input. We know Westbrook can score the ball almost at will. Almost. Okay?
Okay.
Durant, same thing. Okay, he's a 4-time scoring champion at 27 years old. Are you
I
kidding
want to
me?
make a comment about Durant when you're done. Go ahead.
Russell Westbrook, 19 points, 17 assists, 15 rebounds. Westbrook had 17 assists, and they put up a $127. Imagine if they keep doing this. Because let me tell you something. Russell Westbrook is capable of 15 assists a night. That's how good of a passer he is.
And this is exactly what you're trying to tell me that Chris Paul should do. Yeah. He can
In a
still
way.
have that many assists, but he can still put up that.
What a
many points.
connection you made. And look what happens.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
And this is against, quote, the best team in the West.
Yeah.
Imagine.
This is exactly, it just clicked. This is exactly what you're trying to tell me that Chris Paul should do. Only difference is Russell Westbrook's still a kid. Chris Paul should be doing it because he has the experience.
Now take it one step further, though.
Okay.
Your mind. Who's the better team? The Clippers or Oklahoma City?
Wait, all around?
Uh-huh.
OKC.
You think?
Yeah, you cannot compare Blake Griffin with Kevin Durant.
I'm not talking about Blake. No. To me, it's the Clippers. They have the better coach. They have the deeper
Well, yeah.
bench.
Oh, you didn't tell me, Coach.
Everything. They have the deeper bench.
They do have a deeper bench. I was thinking immediately of the 3 top players on each.
Oh, 3 top players is OKC. But beyond that,
Okay. So if you want to consider the bench and you want to consider the coach and you want
but let's give Scott Brooks his due.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Scott Brooks.
Yeah.
But Doc Rivers is just...
But I think they're both right.
They're pretty
for
close.
different reasons.
They're pretty close.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to, I have to go with the Clippers because they're deep. I don't have to keep Chris Paul out there for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
I don't have to keep him out there. Durant and Westbrook are constantly playing 40 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's wear and tear.
Yeah.
So imagine if Chris Paul can do this. Are you with that team and that coach, that coaching staff? Let's not forget Mike Woodson is on that staff as well.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Pelicans message probably.
Okay.
My point is, back to Russell Westbrook.
It may be the fact that Anthony Davis is not playing.
Oh, never mind. It's trivia crack.
Okay.
Everybody out there knows what that is. My point about Russell Westbrook. He keeps putting up numbers like this.
I can't believe I just made that connection.
At 15 rebounds, I don't need 15 rebounds from my point guard. If he's going to give it to me, I'll take it. But I'm not asking for it.
No, but not at the sacrifice of points on the board
Right.
of assists.
I'm not asking for it.
I follow you on that.
But imagine if they put up 127 and because we know Durant can score 35 a night. Okay, that's really, it's not out of this world to say that because 2 years ago he averaged 32. Okay, if Westbrook puts this up, you want to talk about the most dangerous 7 or 8 seed in the history of the league? That's it right
well,
there.
if the others fall off by the wayside,
Oh
they'll
my
be
God.
higher than 7th or 8th.
Oh my God. That's it. I'm just...
Adding to what I wanted to say, because last year I had some doubts. And I had some reservations for the last 2 years, actually, about what I thought Kevin Durant was ever going to step up, find his backbone, and be a force to be reckoned with, and find the courage. No, that's not even the right word. And find
The killer instinct.
the gut,
aggressiveness.
the grit, the gut.
The Kobe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, come on.
To stand up to and not be intimidated by certain players and do what we saw and knew he could do. Because when he was playing against a mediocre to a weak team versus when he was on the floor
Against
with a
LeBron.
right, it was like night and day. I would like to give compliments and kudos to Kevin because I see the beast
It's
coming
coming
out
out.
at him.
Oh,
I
man.
see it.
Oh, man.
I see it. And if I recognize something, I'd like it to go on the record. Congratulations. It's nice that it doesn't look like he's scared anymore. And it's nice to see him going head to head with some of these big dogs.
Can we take it one step further?
Go ahead.
It's nice to have him back.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Yeah.
The NBA was just not the same.
Right.
I mean, for me, and everybody keeps forgetting about this, I can't wait for Paul George to come back.
Oh my God.
I can't
right.
wait for Paul George to come
Oh,
back.
but that's next year though.
I can't wait. I look.
They're going to be a...
Say on the record, I have goosebumps.
Yeah, they're gonna
thinking about Paul George coming
And
back.
bless his heart, seeing him sit there in his suit or his
I have
college coat.
Goosebumps on my spine.
Seeing him sit there, game after game, with that look on his face. He bites his lip most of the time that the game's going on. Or you see his fists clenched like this. He wants to come back so bad.
You want to talk about the future of the NBA? Are you kidding? That's for another topic though.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Is there a guarantee he'll be back next year?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's 90% healed right now.
They just don't want to push it to
Right.
re-injure.
Frank Vogel is very smart. That's a smart man.
Yeah.
And let's face it though.
Let's
Indiana's
face it,
okay.
They're not losing right now anyway.
Indiana's okay. They're 10th.
Absolutely.
They're okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
Speaking of former Indiana Pacers, Lance Stevenson back in the lineup for Charlotte. Yvonne, how big is this for Charlotte and why?
Oh God, they needed him so bad. They need him. That's why it's important. They need him. He's a big piece of that puzzle that was just out. Now, he needs to take it easy though. Because we both know Lance goes from 0 to 100 miles an hour.
In 2 seconds.
Yes. He doesn't know how to play easy. He doesn't know how to play mediocre. He doesn't know. It's going to be left up to the coach to be smart enough to give him limited
And
minutes
Steve
for a
Clifford
while.
has.
Let's make sure. I hope he continues.
Well, I'll tell you what. The one thing that Lance Stevenson needs to watch right now is his attitude. Okay? You have to keep in mind who's watching this team every game. The man by the name of Michael Jordan, you know, the owner.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Co-owner.
Okay.
Or does he own the team outright?
I don't know, but he's an owner. I know
Yeah.
that much. But he's there at every game.
Okay.
Needs to watch his attitude. We had attitude problems early in the year. Jordan wasn't standing for it. Needs to watch it.
Ask you a question, Chris. If you had attitude and you thought you were all that and a bag of Skittles, and then all of a sudden you were out with an injury and you had to watch by the sidelines, then all of a sudden you were well and had the opportunity to go back, you think your attitude would be a little more humble?
Me? Yes, but I'm not Lance Stevenson.
Let's hope he's smart enough to realize.
We'll see.
Only time will tell.
The Brooklyn Nets are being sold by Mikhail Prokhorov.
I didn't know that.
Yvonne Juno, your thoughts?
Well, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why?
Doesn't want him anymore, obviously. I mean, they didn't really go into detail of why. It was just a headline.
Well, it's not like they're the Knicks and they're at the bottom of the list.
Nope.
Well, I mean, there's got to be an underlying reason, but you don't know what it is.
And I have a feeling we'll never know.
Okay. Well, when the owners, was he sole owner?
Yes.
Or this is a conglomerate?
Sole owner.
Well, then it might be a personal financial.
Brooklyn right now is actually...
How old's this guy that owns the team?
Oh, he's in his 40s.
Oh, he's young.
40s, early 50s, maybe.
He might have made a bad investment in something else. He may
But
be in financial
Brooklyn-
trouble. I'm not saying he is for the record books. I'm not saying that. But there could be a million different reasons.
The Brooklyn Nets are the most lucrative franchise in the NBA right now.
What does that mean?
They are worth the most money
Why?
because they're in Brooklyn. And
They're not at the top of the list
Doesn't
for
matter.
productivity right now.
But-
why would they be the most?
Jay-Z is their sponsor. Jay-Z
Oh.
gets them advertised everywhere.
Okay.
They're worth $275 million. Okay? Somebody!
Then I'll look for Jay-Z to buy him outright.
Maybe. Maybe. He can definitely afford it. We know that much.
Well, yeah. I don't look at. Oh, wait! I didn't know that. I don't look at it at Jay-Z letting some stranger come in and buy up the. Watch.
He might. There's a good chance. There's a good chance.
Okay.
Yvonne Juno, point guard Nate Robinson, traded
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
traded to Boston and then released. Yvonne, your thoughts?
I don't know if I can talk about this. I mean, I do not understand the logic of taking someone's career, using them as part of a trade deal, getting that person's hopes all built up. They have no say in this matter. Okay? That would make me an absolute nervous wreck if I did not have control over my own life. Using them as part of a trade deal, getting them all excited and worked up about the fact that they're going to have a new team to play for, building them up, and then letting them go. What do I think about this? It sucks.
I agree.
It sucks. My heart goes out to him.
Let me say this.
I'm brokenhearted for him.
Let me say this.
And I hope.
And question B, we'll talk about. I know what you're going to say.
I hope somebody out there realizes the benefits and
The advantage you're going to have.
the advantages. Nobody is going to work harder for you
No.
than Nate. I'm not saying he's the best there is, but when it comes to loyalty and work ethics and doing the best that he possibly can, you're not going to find anybody better. You're not going to find anybody
Let me say this.
who's going to.
Let me say this.
It upsets me tremendously.
It's hard to understand the logic behind it simply because we're not involved in it. We don't know the thought process that went in it. We don't know why they made this decision. Honestly, it's not for us to understand. We can't debate on that. What we can debate on is question B. Yvonne, who should sign him and why?
Oh, well, immediately the Pelicans should sign him. We're without Drew.
Good point.
We are without Drew. Number one, he's not used to being the starting point guard, so let him start for a while till Drew. That way you don't have to rush Drew getting well to get back out there.
Good point.
We don't have a bench player with Nate's experience, qualifications.
Intangibles.
Right. We don't have anybody to take his place right now. We are essentially without a point guard.
A true point guard, yeah.
Right. So, number one, we need a point guard. Number two, he's available. Number three, he's used to being on the bench and being the sixth man. So when Drew does come back, and Drew could take his time to come back, then Nate would not be that upset or that demoralized by being told, okay, Drew's coming back.
Hey, man,
and then
you're the sixth man.
Then they could
Let's go.
they could trade him off. They could trade him off. That way Drew would not have to play the entire game, every game. Also, Pelicans, all the way.
You want to hear something scary? And what I think is going to end up
Much.
and what I think is going to end up happening. Nate Robinson, within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, will be the newest member of the New York Knicks.
Oh,
Why do I say that? Number one, let's face it, the Knicks need somebody to
besides
help
Carmelo?
Carmelo Anthony out. Okay? Number two, we said in our last debate that they're looking to get rid of Jose Calderon, their starting point guard. So there you go again, they're without a starting point guard. Number three, Nate Robinson has already played for the Knicks. That's where Robinson became famous.
Oh, is that when he was in the
The dunk contest.
dunk contest and all
Yes.
that? Oh, well then that answers
That's
my
where
question.
Nate Robinson became famous.
Now,
So let me put something scary into your brain. Nate Robinson goes to New York and plays with Carmelo Anthony this season. Okay, no big deal. We know they're not going to get into the playoffs because they're too far behind.
yeah.
Guess what? With all the trades they made, they got 4 draft picks this season.
That could be scary for next year.
You think?
Yeah.
So not only do these youngsters have Carmelo to look up to, they have Nate Robinson to look up to. Are you kidding me? I think it'd be excellent. I think it would be
I
excellent.
want him for us.
Oh, well, I do too.
I
of
want
course
him
I
for
do.
us.
Of course I want him for
We
us.
need him.
We do. We could definitely use him. Sorry about this. We got something on in the full court press kitchen. I'm sorry about this. Whoops. I guess we didn't think this through.
It won't be for long, but it's going to be making this much noise. Hey, even basketball aficionados like
Hey.
us have to eat. You can't live in Louisiana and not eat supper.
I'm going to put it a little bit closer to us so we don't have to scream.
But then you're going to get more of the sizzle.
Jeez.
Okay, it's going down now.
Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Last topic of this part. Oklahoma City and Brooklyn involved in trade talks involving Brook Lopez. Yvonne Juno, your thoughts?
No, I want to hear yours first.
You want to
We
hear my
always
thoughts?
ask mine first. I want to hear why you think this is a bad thing.
I don't think this is a bad thing at all, except for nobody.
Oh, okay.
Because
I thought you thought it was a bad thing.
no,
Okay.
if anything, it's a bad thing for Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Why do I say that? Well, main reason, the only reason. We know Brook Lopez is a good player. We know that. We know Brook Lopez is capable of putting up 22 and 12 every night. But he's got an injury history as long as people's driving records.
Okay.
OKC does not need uncertainty at health. Okay? Though it could make them an extremely competitive team out in the West, I don't know if they want that right now. Because there's uncertainty there. I don't know if Oklahoma City would be smart to take that. I don't see that. He would fit in if he could stay healthy. But I don't know that he can stay healthy.
What's his track record that's so bad with
Oh my
injuries?
God, a leg, an elbow, a shoulder,
Okay.
2 knees, a foot. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Okay.
It just, it's as long as the day is.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if Oklahoma City wants to deal with uncertainty in health every game right now. Because they finally got their groove back.
Right at this minute.
He's healthy right now.
Okay.
But in an instant, I mean, that's like Yao Ming. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you knew Yao Ming had problems from the very beginning.
I don't know about all that. I'm not getting my hopes up if I'm Oklahoma City. I'm just not.
Okay.
I'm just not. That's going to conclude
What
part.
do you think?
Oh.
What do you think Brooke Lopez thinks about this?
Doesn't matter what Brooke Lopez thinks.
I understand that, but I'm talking to you from a personal standpoint.
Where would he rather be?
Yeah.
Probably Oklahoma City. They're more of a playoff contender. They're in a tougher conference. He would have a guaranteed spot. They need a center. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from Steven Adams or Kendrick Perkins, but Kendrick Perkins is aging, and Steven Adams isn't well-rounded yet. Brooke Lopez is.
Thank
but
God.
what would you rather
Thank
someone?
God Perk changed his attitude a little bit.
Would you rather someone that's young and up and coming and not that well-rounded yet that could turn in to a well-rounded player, or would you rather a well-rounded player who's injured half the time? Take your pick.
No, you don't want injuries.
Take your pick.
No.
Especially in the West.
No, you don't want injuries.
Take your pick.
You can always teach the rest of the stuff.
Right. He's going to
Okay.
grow into it.
Right. You can't teach how not to get hurt because it can happen with the twist of an ankle.
That's going to conclude part 2. Part 3 coming at you next.